when you're starting a business, you gotta have the right mindset. Like you gotta have a business mindset. You gotta realize that you are actually starting a business to make money. You don't want to produce bad quality products. You want to produce good quality products, but at the same time, we are in this to make money, because if you're not making money, it's not really a business. Things that you're going to have to do when you first starting a business is you're going to have to do a lot of stuff yourself, because in the beginning, we're not able to hire people to work for us. You got to do a lot of things yourself. I know, like with my business, sometimes I'm there super early in the morning and they're still late at night, because I do everything. I have a small shop and I live in a small town, so, I don't have people working for me. At different times I do hire people when I need them. You want to know how to do your designs, because if you're not doing your own designs, if you're having to pay someone to do the designs, that's taking away money from your business. So, you want to learn how to do everything. One of the main things you have to do when you're starting a business is research. You want to do your research. Sometimes you do have to get help from other people, but you want to do your research and make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into before you actually do get started. And one of the main things to do also is to believe in yourself. Like when you first start your business, it's not going to always take off. Sometimes people can start businesses and they'll take off to where, it's in the beginning you'll be making profit, but a lot of times if you bought a lot of equipment and stuff like that, it's going to take a while before you actually start making profit. One of the things with that is you're going to have to be able to keep your head up when you're going through struggles. Sometimes you're not making much money. Sometimes you seem like your business is not doing as well as you would like for it to be. So, y'all got to be able to make it through the struggles, because if you push when things are hard, they'll get easier. I'm T-Shirt Chick on YouTube. T-Shirt Chick. T-Shirt Chick TV, yes. Okay, and when you're first starting out a business, because I know we had quite a few people that are just now starting out, you got to realize when you first start, day one, that's the worst that your business is ever going to be. It's going to get better from there. So, you gotta work on everything. Everything's not going to be perfect. Sometimes you start out and you're learning as you go. I know I did a lot of learning, as I went, and some of the things, like when I first started out, I wasn't taking deposits, and all I was doing was, I would take the orders and I would trust the people to come and pay. And when I had that happen one time, that was all it took. It was a good size order, and I lost money on that order. So, you have to make sure that, because it's a business, we are in the business to make money. So, you got to make sure you get a deposit up front and stuff like that. Like, as you go, we're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna continue to make mistakes. Even when you've been a business, like big businesses sometimes make mistakes. You have to learn from every mistake and make sure to not continue to make the same mistakes over again. And one of the main things, if you're gonna be starting a business, you gotta make sure, I know all of y'all are interested in the t-shirts, you gotta make sure that you're passionate about your business. You can't just start something that you're not really into and think that you're gonna make money with it, because after a while you're gonna get tired of it. So, the best thing to do is I know most of y'all in here, is different ways to make t-shirts, as y'all know. I'm sure y'all seen all the equipment here for the different processes, but choose one that you're comfortable with. Choose one that that you're going to be able to stick with, because you have to be passionate about it. And some of the mistakes when we're starting out in the business. The next thing is not having enough experience. Before you ever start your business, you want to make sure that you print for people in your family, some of your friends. If you have kids, that was what I did in the beginning. I printed a lot for my kids, and you know, I got the practice in, and I felt comfortable enough, and I started doing it for friends, and some of my friends had businesses and stuff like that, so that was kind of how I got out there, printing for the church and stuff like that. Another one is not charging enough to make a profit. Now, depending on where y'all located, if I tell y'all my prices, it may not be the same price that y'all would charge. So you have, ma'am, well, it depends on what you're ordering. Okay, I'm gonna say if you're ordering 25 shirts, that's my first price break, and the shirts will be $12 for one color print. And depending on, do that sound familiar to y'all? $12 for a one color print? Yeah, well, it may be. I'm seeing some people nodding yes. So, you know, you have to kind of, what I did when I first started out, I called some of the local businesses around and I asked them what their prices were. I called with an order, a pretend order, you know, because I wasn't really ordering nothing. And I had questions for them like I was a real customer, you know, and that was how I came up with the pricing, and I based it on what the local prices around me were. And one other thing, like I was telling y'all earlier, when I wasn't getting people to sign a contract, as far as you know, when they come in to make their order, they have to sign a contract saying that, you know, what it's telling you how much you owe and everything about the order and stuff like that. So I make sure that they sign a contract, because they need to know the rules, your rules of your shop, know what to expect from you, you know, and you know what to expect from them. So that protects both of y'all. They have, okay, this is what I'm paying for right here, and you know, and they have, okay, I paid, you know, proof for payment, and it's an agreement. So you have to have that paperwork signed by them. And I don't take any like whenever people make orders, it's got to be in writing. Like, you can't just tell me, yeah, that's what I want. If you call me and say, well, I need it in writing, you're gonna have to either email me or text me or come in and, you know, and sign that, you know, that you approve of it before I ever print. Let me see. Another thing that a lot of people make is quitting the business too soon, quitting prematurely. When you get started, sometimes it takes a while to make money. Sometimes you gotta realize the people who are your potential customers. You know, you want to target certain people. Like when I first started, it was some of my friends who had businesses, and some of the teachers and stuff. Because you know, before I started printing t-shirts, I was a teacher. You know, some of them who had kids who played sports and stuff like that, and churches. You know, I used to print a lot for my church, stuff like that. You know, you got to find the people who you're dealing with in the beginning for, you know, for your orders, and eventually, especially if you're, you know, a home-based business. Because I started out in my apartment, and then I eventually got my shop that I have now, and you know, you're welcome. And another thing that you guys have to do is not think that you know everything and continue learning. You know, you got to continue learning, just like y'all all here. It's new equipment coming out every year. It's new processes coming out. You know, different things to like when you print. If you just say you're doing vinyl, you know, they got all different types of vinyl, and they continuously coming out with more vinyl. You know, so you want to stay up on what's popular, the new things that's coming out. They got all different kind of presses coming out. I know Epson just came out with a sublimation printer, 24-inch sublimation printer that's really popular right now. So, you know, you want to stay up on everything that is going on. You don't want to stop learning and stop paying attention and think that you know everything and what you're doing is good enough, because it's somebody else always looking to start a business, you know, and if they doing something that y'all don't offer, that's where your customers will go. Let me see. Another thing is taking orders that you can't fulfill. Now, I made a big mistake when I first started. I started out with, I started out doing vinyl, then I was doing screen printing. I had a one color screen printing press. All I could print was one color. Most of my orders still to this day are one color. So, you know, it's not a bad idea to start with a one color press if that's all you can get, because that was all I could get at the time. But as soon as I could upgrade, I did. But I had a person that came in, they made the order. It was a one color design, front and back, and everything was all good. They came in again to finalize the order and go ahead and make the deposit. And once they did that, they wanted more colors. They wanted more prints. I wasn't able to do that correctly, but I told them that I could, and I was gonna figure it out, And when I did that, I made a big mistake. And when you got a one color press, it ain't no way you can get those two colors on there. I mean, maybe some people in here that can. If it is, y'all let me know, but it wasn't no way I could get those prints on there correctly. I should have never took that job. But thanks to God, they did go ahead and accept the shirts, and when they come back for the next order, I made sure everything was right, and I gave them a discount. So, you have to work with your customers sometimes, because we humans and we're gonna make mistakes. But that's a mistake that, since I'm telling y'all now, I don't want y'all to make. All right. Let me see. All right, another thing is producing mediocre products. You don't want to put something out there that you wouldn't wear, or you wouldn't be proud for somebody to say that you made. If you're gonna be producing something, make sure it's good quality stuff, because if somebody see their shirt, if it looks good, they might say, who made that shirt? And they'll tell them it's you. If the shirt looks bad, they're gonna say, who made that shirt? And they're gonna tell them it's you. So, word of mouth is a big thing when you're doing t-shirts and really in any business, because if somebody tell you they had a bad experience with something, you're not going to want to deal with that person. You're not going to want to go through that. Another mistake that people make is not starting a business. Like, a lot of times we want to wait until we get the best equipment. You don't have to have the best equipment starting out. You can get what you can afford. If all you can afford is the cheapest heat press, the cheapest vinyl cutter, or the cheapest screen printing press, or the cheapest whatever. You just want to get started and get into it, learn how to do everything, and once you start getting business, or you can even save up and purchase. Because when I first started, I bought my heat press first. And I used to buy the little Avery transfers from Walmart. Y'all probably know those. And I used to hand cut them out and do the shirts for my kids. But once I got that down, I was like, okay, it's time for the next step. I got the vinyl cutter. I started, cutting the vinyl out and stuff like that. Then by that time I had got my shop, and I started to get bigger orders. And I didn't even know nothing about screen printing at that time. I had never been to an ISS show. I've been in business for like more than 11 years. And my first time going to the ISS show was like 2 years ago. So I didn't know nothing about this because I was in a small town. But y'all ahead of the game already, with that. But don't let not having everything perfect and not having the best equipment, don't let that limit y'all and cause y'all to not start your business. Everybody got to start somewhere, and once you get everything going, you can upgrade as needed. And another thing is starting too soon. Another mistake is starting too soon or trying to go big too soon. Now, it's nothing wrong with financing equipment, but if you're just starting out, you don't want to get yourself in a big hole to where you're not making a profit. Even if your business might be doing good, but because you owe so much with financing, you're having to pay everything that you make for your equipment. It's like with me, I bought everything little by little as I went. And then when it was something big that I wanted, I saved up for it and I got it. And like now that I feel like I'm established, if I wanted to get like a big press or something really expensive, I can get that now, and I can finance because everything, my business is already established and I already have my customers and stuff like that. But in the beginning, you don't want to get yourself in a situation like that. One of the other mistakes is not registering your business. If y'all are running a business and it's not registered, y'all can get in serious trouble for not paying taxes. That's a serious crime. So y'all want to make sure, you know, in the beginning when you just starting out, you know, and you just trying it out, you know, I'm not saying go ahead and register right away, but you know, once you decide, okay, I'm gonna do this as a business, and you're gonna start charging people and stuff like that, you need to get it registered. And some of the benefits of registering your business is being able to buy wholesale. You know, you can get your wholesale or resale, people call it different things, license, and you know, that way you can save when you're buying the t-shirts and stuff like that. Instead of having to pay full price or like go to the local stores and buy t-shirts, you can buy them at a cheaper price from a place that sells wholesale shirts. And it's a lot of those places around here. If y'all, you know, don't know, especially for the new ones, y'all can check some of those people out. All you have to do is set up an account with them, give them your information, and you know, y'all got it going on after that. All right, and talk a little bit about equipment. Now, I feel like if you really wanting to do this as a business, you should purchase equipment that's gonna last. You know, you don't want to just purchase the cheapest thing because it's cheap. You want to purchase the best that you can afford. You know, if you are getting a heat press, I feel like that is one of the most important things. You don't want your heat press to go out on you in the middle of a job, and that's another thing with that. If you're getting a heat press, I feel like you should want to get one from a reputable company, you know, a well-known company. I don't feel like buying those Amazon presses and off eBay. Those presses, if you have a problem with them, who you gonna contact? If you do contact them, they way on the other side of the world, and they, you know, all they're gonna do is email you, and you going back and forth by email. So I feel like it's best to, you know, contact somebody you can actually call and, you know, and speak to them, and they can send you a part if something go out, or, you know, you can send it in to them, you know, because I know I had got a heat press and had some issues with it and ended up having to send it back. And if it was from a company way across seas or somewhere, I would have, you know, it would have been real expensive to ship something heavy like that. And let me see. Okay, and the other thing, you know, you buy what you can afford and you upgrade as needed. Me, when I got into the vinyl printing and I started getting the bigger orders, I needed to start doing something else because it was taking me forever to get those orders done, and I was having to pay people to help me, get people to help me, and I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted to keep all the money for myself, you know, but I had to do it until I learned about screen printing, and then that was when I got that one color press, and I was able to get the shirts done a whole lot quicker, you know, and that comes in with continuing to learn, because if I would have stopped right there, I probably would have gave up on t-shirts, you know, peeling the vinyl for the bigger orders. So let me see. One other thing is your equipment. You have to do your maintenance of your equipment. You don't want to not take care of your equipment, because then you'll start to have issues with it. Most of the equipment that you buy, I'm pretty sure all of it, I know all the equipment I have bought, it tells you how to maintain your equipment, the different things you have to do. You know, if it need to be oiled or cleaned or whatever, y'all make sure y'all take care of your equipment so that you won't have issues with it. But hopefully what I said to y'all was helpful, but that's all I have for you.